Okay, I want to talk about chickens and ducks and predators. I've got a whole lot of experience dealing with predators with my line of work, and I want to show a few things on here, and I'm going to show you a raccoon that just moved in, and we caught the mama and the 3 babies, and we're going to go turn them loose on the river. But cage traps are a good idea to have if you're going to have chickens, and I don't care if you live downtown, wherever. You're going to probably have predator problems with possums or raccoons. It's just a fact of life. It may not be exactly what people think about when they're having the romance of getting backyard chickens, but a lot of that's more marketing than reality. And the reality is stuff wants to eat your chickens. That's kind of the prey species part of them. If you didn't want to use a big cage trap like this, there's a product on the market that you can look at, and it's a Freedom brand dog-proof trap, which means you could set it in your yard with your dog and not have to worry about catching your dog. And it just pins their hand in a little tube, and it doesn't hurt them. Then you can go turn them loose that way. So you've got cage traps, and you've got a Freedom brand dog-proof 1 or 2. The 1 sets really easy. That's the one I'd recommend. Now, I've got tall wire on the back of my pins, but on the bottom of this, let me move this cage out there. The reason I knew to put these cages out is I saw baby raccoons next to a building, so I knew mama was here and mama's going to feed the babies. I've got this pretty tall for feral dogs. I've even made this harder with a heavier wire. And when that wire goes to the ground, that wire literally comes out this far, about 2 inches under the ground, and that's called a predator fence. So it goes down at 90 degrees out. So if a dog, a coyote, or a fox comes up here and starts digging, they're standing on that wire. Very important to have around the outside of your coop. You could even put it around, your run, but you can put it around your coop. Now if you look at this wire, this is really heavy duty wire. It's not chicken wire. It's not something that's very light. And even as tough as this is, I can see where a dog at one time or another has bent one of these trying to bite through there. I live out in the country, but I don't live out in the wilderness, so we still have problems here. This is very secure, and a raccoon can't get through this, but regular small wire, they absolutely can. Now this is our coop, and the raccoons that I just showed you, the mama raccoon was caught right there this morning. All the chickens are sitting there looking at her when I get up in the morning. And one thing that I did learn this morning is my portable fence was too close to the cage and the coon ate part of it. So keep that stuff in mind. But it's your responsibility as a chicken or duck owner to do what you need to do to protect those animals. You took the responsibility on for them, so you're responsible for their protection. Having predator wire around your coop and your run is one way to do that. Being able to catch a predator that's trying to get into your animals with a cage trap or an FB1 or an FB2, Freedom brand dog-proof trap, is something that every person that has these animals needs to be able to do, or have a friend that can do it for you. Okay, this is the mama coon, raccoon. Not a very big one. We're in the south, they're not that big. I've got a nephew that lives in Chattanooga. Him and his wife, also into permaculture. They're inside the city limits of Chattanooga. I'm talking stacked neighborhoods. And they've lost a couple of flocks now, maybe even 3, to raccoons. And the raccoons will come up to their probably not as bulletproof coop as it should be. If they can't get into the chickens, they'll grab a chicken and try to pull it through the wire, which is very unhealthy for the chicken, because parts of the chicken will make it outside and the raccoon will eat it, and you can imagine the problem. The reality of predators and prey is a little different when you see it with something that you go take care of every day. So that's when I say responsibility, it's your responsibility. Now we caught the mama coon in front of the coop in the cage trap. These little guys, I saw 2 of these, which reason I knew this raccoon was here. When we went into the shop, one scurried up under my wood pile, one went to the left. I thought there was 2, there was 3. So mama went out to feed, get something to eat for her babies at the chicken coop, and then I set traps around mama, and I'll show you what I did on that. So if you get in this situation, you'll kind of know what to do. But actually, we started going through a side building and we saw the baby raccoon, so I just picked them up with leather gloves. Be very careful. They can have rabies, they can have distemper, they will bite, they do look very cute, but a raccoon that size is extremely strong and it will hurt you. Now what I did, when I caught the mother raccoon, I took her away from the chickens. I set her over here right where I thought the babies were at, where we saw them the other day. Because it's hot, I put up some wood and just some tin so the mother was never in the sun, because she's got fur on, she'll get hot. Now I'm gonna take you around back, and this is a safe way to keep water to a raccoon, because if I just took the mama raccoon off, then I've got 3 baby raccoons with no mama, and that's not good for anybody. So we had the mama raccoon under the tin to keep her out of the sun so she didn't get hot. I've taken a 5-gallon bucket and I just drilled a small hole. The water comes out. I can set it on another bucket or a tub. This was going into the corner of her cage, because when they're sitting there and they're stressed out, they're going to need a lot of water to drink. So if you're going to catch them, and you've got to catch the babies, you know where they're at, you're going to have to give the raccoon water. So I just put water in here. This dribbles out. It took her about 5 minutes to figure out how to drink from it. And with it being hot, she got under it like a sprinkler and just kind of sat there. So now that we have the babies, the mamas reunited, we're going to go let them do their thing somewhere else far, far away from here. But like I said, it's your responsibility, if you're going to have chickens or ducks, to be able to protect those, even if it sometimes conflicts with other ideas you may or may not have about the reality of nature and prey and predator species. Raccoons are most definitely predators. You've also got to think about possums, weasels, mink, birds, of course, with your hawks and stuff like that. You've got foxes, you've got coyotes. In the south, I've got more issues with feral dogs. You've got house cats, you've got bobcats. All those animals want to eat your chickens or your ducks. So you're going to have to be the one to protect them, because they're not smart enough nor able enough to do that. So if you're going to get into this, just keep in mind, sometimes you get in some weird situations, and it's kind of cool to see the wildlife, and we're getting ready to go turn them loose. Okay, just let it go, sit back on the door. It'll come out. Okay, open the mamas. There you go.